What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. So today we're in Brighton and I've come by here, Salvage Sawdust, to meet the founders here and sit down and have a chat with them and talk all things like clothing, vintage, and find out a little bit more about this business, which I've wanted to visit for ages. So come in, let's get on it. Hey guys, we're sat here with Jack from Salvage Sawdust. Jack, just introduce yourself. Are you the owner, director?
Owner, founder, I guess.
What inspired Salvage Sawdust and where did the journey begin?
The business came about, I think 10-ish years ago, basically from me wanting to do everything, the good bits of everything I'd done previously. So I'd been a builder and I'd been in fashion and I'd had fashion brands, one in particular that did quite well. And I'd had a market stall and I enjoyed like the selling and the finding and the hunting.
Right.
And then somehow my life had gone, the journey had gone and I was a builder in London working on big sites. And basically my whole life was on the site.
Yeah.
It was a commute to London, long commute from Brighton. And I had no time for myself and I wanted to get back to doing something I really loved. I wanted a base to just do anything I wanted.
Yeah.
And build something from it. Didn't really know what.
Right.
Just wanted to get out of building.
Creative outlet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And get back some work-life balance.
You're definitely more on the creative element than or it's coming more from creative rather than business, right?
Yeah, it came from just a want of getting out of the 9 to 5, although it wasn't 9 to 5, it was 6 to 5 or whatever, and a want of wanting to work for myself and make something. Like I'm not great at being told what to do, so I much prefer working for myself.
How many times have we heard
Yeah,
that?
I'm
everyone
now
we
completely
talk to.
unemployable, actually.
Yeah.
So it was very like, you'd get a job done. And then the boss is on the phone like, right, get to the next one, and it's behind, and you're like, you just finished, mate. And I thought, I just want to do my thing.
A lot of people like yourself, the common threads are all there. Like, I'm unemployable.
Yeah, I'm
like,
completely
I don't want to be told
unemployable.
what to do.
No.
Like all these same people, whether they're building motorcycles or selling like vintage clothing or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Like the general philosophy always seems to be the same thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. The interesting thing is, all my friends now build motorcycles, particularly Harleys. They're all Harley geeks, or cars, or they sell vintage, or they work for themselves. I think it's just that's that type of person, isn't it? And you attract people like yourself.
Yeah. Are you, now that you have your own thing going on, and you're not being told what to do by someone else, are you always working?
Yeah, always working.
Is
Always.
Is that a problem?
And I love it.
Yeah.
You've got to achieve some balance, which I'm terrible at. I just believe in, like, basically I'm going to throw everything I've got at this business and make an absolute, give it the best I can, and hopefully retire not too old. I'll do the same thing, but I'll just wander around antique fairs and I'll make stuff at home and potter about.
Yeah.
I'll never be able to retire, but I'll just tone it down and have an even better work-life balance.
In terms of like from the business as well, but what were some of there must have been some dark days and there must have been like real challenges. What were some of the major challenges you faced?
Oh man, yeah. I mean, definitely the first 6 months or so, I sort of gambled everything. I quit my job that I mentioned in London and I displayed all the shop and did it all and sunk a load of money into it. And I opened up and not really anyone came in, to be honest. So I was just sat in there like, oh shit. Yeah, I got busy and got pushing it, and in the end they did, but it took a long time. But that was pretty worrying at the beginning. So yeah.
Was it just yourself when you started?
Yeah.
So at what point did Lewis come into the equation?
He came on to work in the shop, and we quickly realised that he needs to be more involved than that. Right. And then we agreed that we'd go into partnership. He'd invest in the business, but I said we need the bigger shop, so we might as well combine the two. And then we've been in the new shop for 3 weeks. So
What was it about him that made you realise that he needed to be more?
Lewis is a good lad. We get on really well. We're singing from the same hymn sheet, but also his skills are things I can do, but I don't necessarily love. So he's very good at photography, sewing, the repair side of things, the social media, the website, all that. More technical side.
Yeah.
Like he'll sit at his laptop and he can help me grow the business in that way. Whereas I'd rather be outsourcing stock and designing T-shirts and stuff. So yeah, his skills complemented mine. Yeah, we combined them basically.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because I've spoken to a few people like yourself, and one of the things that they become quite good at is knowing where their strengths might need bolstering.
Yeah.
And being able to get the right person to do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or calling in the right support.
I definitely felt like I'd got it so far and I was like run ragged and I couldn't get it any further on my own.
Yeah.
So when he joined, and he was originally just sort of going to do Saturday and Sunday because at the time I had my daughter and I still have my daughter obviously, but he was so I could be with her and he'd cover the shop. Yeah, and we realised, that he was, from day one, he was bringing loads more to it.
What is your sort of what's your take on trends, fast fashion and all of that sort of stuff versus this stuff? And do you have an opinion on generally how men and women are choosing to dress these days?
I think my answer's an obvious one, really. I'm not a big fan of fast fashion at all. Obviously, there's ethical reasons, which I care about. But to be honest, like I just don't like any of it, and it's all the same.
Yeah,
and it's all come from vintage anyway, and it's all produced really badly. Like it's all a copy of one that's gone before anyway, and I'd much rather have the original. Once you sort of get into it, once you start in vintage and you start collecting it and you start buying bits, it just seems so false. Like if I walk into any high street store,
insert name,
it's like everyone's wearing the same thing. It's all a copy of whatever from the American Army in the 40s or this or that. It's all a copy, and it feels so. There's nothing there. It's so empty. To be honest, I haven't been to the high street in years and years and years.
Well, the funny thing is, right, if you go into, I mean, I don't do it either, but if I were to walk into any high street shop, I'm probably going to find jeans, crew necks, T-shirts, but like you said, it's all come from here anyway.
It's all come from here.
But how is it that this stuff is still on the hangers and still in good nick?
Well, because it was made so much better.
Yeah.
It was made in a time when people were poorer, so they'd buy an item of clothing and it's for life.
Yeah.
And they repair it and they wear it every day. They couldn't afford to buy clothes every week like people do now. They go to Primark every Saturday.
Yeah.
And
bags full of stuff.
Yeah, and it shrinks in a week and you throw it away, which is like ridiculous. But yeah, you'd buy one work jacket and that was your work jacket for years and years and years. It was made properly.
My opinion is that like when stuff was built to work and built to made properly, that's what made it cool. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. What you mean originally?
Yeah, like these trousers, like a double knee, like they're built to last, to work in. And
I mean that knee's just double because to reinforce it.
Yeah,
they
for,
were on their
for a
knees.
carpenter and stuff. Yeah, exactly.
One of our best sellers, really. And yeah, God knows how many years ago that they came up with that design.
I know, right? And I feel like I can wear Carhartt because I do Carhartt activities.
Yeah, you do some. You have to do a little bit, don't you? Do a little bit.
And then what's your take on, we were talking earlier about like double RL. I love double RL. It's kind of, I love double RL. Yeah, it was like the gateway for me to get into, to start thinking about how I was dressing, to be honest.
Yeah.
When I started seeing that stuff, it was quite, I don't know, it like spoke to me in some weird way, and I started putting a little bit more effort into the clothes I was buying and wearing, and that led me into sort of like, I suppose, more vintage stuff and finding out about people like yourselves. But there's a lot of people out there. I'm going to say blokes as well. There's a lot of blokes out there, and they don't put much effort into what they wear at all.
Yeah, I know, crazy.
Like, do you ever?
What do they think about in the morning? Mental.
But do you ever get asked for advice on style and this kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, obviously in the day-to-day of the shop, one of our USPs really is there's lots of people selling this stuff.
Yeah.
It's nothing new. It's vintage seller, but we I try and style it up.
Yeah.
So it's done, it's found, it's styled. It's like you can come in and you can buy the whole mannequin.
What does personal style mean to you?
Oh, it's quite important to me, always has been, like as a sort of expression. You are what you wear or whatever, self-expression. For whatever reason, it's something I think about a lot and something I'm really into. Doesn't necessarily mean like I'm particularly really smart. In fact, it's quite the opposite most of the time.
Yeah.
I'll just get favourites and I'll look forward to wearing them and enjoy wearing it. It could be an old ragged white T-shirt or whatever. I wear the same jeans and boots most days, but when I like to be comfortable in what I'm wearing, and that's how I put myself out to the world.
Yeah.
Which I think is important. I think if you have a sense of style, then you're presenting yourself and then you feel more confident, and it ties into all of it.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there. Like, it's not about how you look or how you perceive. It's more about how you feel. And how you show up.
Yeah,
right?
exactly, yeah. Just feel comfortable, feel confident. There is occasionally, I can think of one example in particular. There was a sort of fella walked in, it was in the old shop. He sort of said he'd been married for 30 years or something, and his wife had never let him choose his clothes, and he'd always wanted to, and he didn't feel confident enough to, and could I help him? And like part of me was like, it's gonna be a good day through the till today. but also like it's quite sad. Like he'd always wanted to get into clothes. He could see why it was a good thing, but his wife had sort of said, no, you don't need that. You wear normal jeans, or take him to Marks and Spencer's or whatever, and just made him a standard dad look. And that's how he'd been for years and years and years. So I was like, blimey, like, it's quite emotional really, but yeah, let's like help you. I sold him a couple of like basics. We put him in a good solid white tee, sold him some Red Wings, some straight cut jeans, and then I was like, well, it's going to get expensive, so come back in a little while. And he come back like almost a new man, all like, oh, people have been complimenting me and this and that and the other. And bear in mind, he's going through a divorce, so I'm like, oh, sweet, got you there, bruv. Like, cool. And then he starts buying like jackets and sweats, and then it got more. He'd come in after a couple more months and say what he wanted, and I'm like, all right, yeah, we've got sort of stuff along those lines. Like maybe not quite that fit, but we've got. And he got more and more confident, and he still comes in now, and he's like full menswear dude now. Really? Looks great, feels great, like. So we've helped him out, haven't we? So, and I always think of that. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, like I've like heard similar stories about like it's kind of like that guy who always wanted a motorcycle, and never did it because his parents said no, and then his missus said no, and all the rest of it. And you're just like, dude, live your life, man.
Big into just particularly men following your passion.
Yeah,
because you can go your whole life like wanting something. I don't know, a camper van, and there's never a good time. There's never a spare 10 grand.
Yeah,
and you never do it, or wanting a bike or whatever.
Or a fucking tattoo or something. Whatever.
Or something might hurt, or work won't really like it. Yeah. And I just think, just do it. And because then you do it, you get into a certain way of life, or you get into certain things, you attract the people that you're into the same things as you're putting out. You get whole new friendship groups out of it, and you get a better life, you know?
Yeah.
So I just think anything good and positive like that, I'm all for all of it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's great. Anything. I don't judge. Bikes, scooters.
Yeah, man.
I'm more into cars and trucks and stuff myself, but whatever even the random ones, like people that are into like 90s Escorts. And I'm like, passion.
I've got an old
90s
Land Rover.
Oh, okay.
an old Land Rover.
Yeah.
An old like Series 3 Land Rover.
Yeah, sweet.
But it's in real nice nick, and it was restored by the guy who had it before me, and it's this old like farm vehicle. Right?
Yeah, but it's great, isn't it? Drive it on a Sunday.
It's so cool, yeah. It's so cool, man. Yeah. Like, we go
Get
out
you through the rest of the week.
Yeah, we make like videos in it, and it's just like a vibe, you know. Like it was Dennis. I was speaking to Dennis from WRL.
WRL, yeah. Seen the other day.
I showed him a picture, and he was like, "This is like a catalogue, man. This is." I was like, "Yeah, it's like cool as fuck, right?"
Yeah.
It's the whole...
There's nothing better than you get out. I mean, I'm more into American cars and trucks and stuff. I get out in my old. I've got Falcon at the moment.
Cool.
And like you'll get someone in something else American, and it's like boop boop and away, and you think, part of something, you know. You go to your car meet or whatever, and you're all just into the same thing, and doesn't matter what it is.
Anything that brings a smile.
Doesn't matter whether it's big money, little money.
Yeah,
you know, it's not.
I'll tell you what. That's the thing I like about classic cars.
Yeah.
Or anything classic. And actually, what I got from here, I was looking around in here. You could have not a lot of money and still come in here and buy something cool.
Yeah.
And you could come in there and spend hundreds if you wanted, right?
Yeah, please. In cash would be handy. I keep a big eye on that, to be honest, or we both do, and it is tricky. It's tricky to do good vintage and keep your like 20, 30 pound price points.
Yeah.
Because obviously the good stuff, or what I consider the good stuff, is getting rarer and harder to find, and people around the world are selling it for thousands and thousands and thousands. I don't want a shop where everything's 500 plus.
Yeah.
I want you to come in and get a t-shirt or whatever.
Yeah.
We do key rings and hats, and I make the trucker hats, I print them. That way they're 35 quid, and you know, you can rep the brand and be part of something and sort of joining a club, innit? But you can, everyone can walk away with something. We even sell the magazines, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to keep them price points, 100%.
Yeah, so you got something for everything, something for everyone, right?
I don't ever want to get to like sort of archive level where it's all just like a museum.
Yeah.
And everything's loads of money.
Well, the other thing about that is that like it's harder to use then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's just, I don't know, it's great that it's worth so much, and it's good that it's, I guess, trendy or whatever, but like, a t-shirt is a t-shirt. It should never be £1,000. It's a t-shirt, innit?
Yeah,
It's a cool thing. Wear it, get oil down it, whatever. If you paid for £1,000 for a t-shirt, you should frame it, and you're never going to wear it. That's not what it's about.
Yeah. Are there any surprising lessons you've learned about life or business from doing what you're doing?
There's definitely lessons. I don't know if they're surprising. Some of them are probably blindingly obvious, but you don't see them until you're in it. You don't see stuff when you're in it. You're just blindly grafting, and it's when you take a step back you see stuff. It's a fairly simple formula, really. The harder you work, the more successful you'll be, and the more you push stuff and the more you put yourself out there, the more you'll attract similar people in and attract customers and stuff. I think it's just do the obvious stuff. You just got to work hard, haven't you, really?
Yeah.
Work hard. Don't charge too much. I didn't realise quite how much of my life it would take, I think, when I originally made the jump about 7 years ago. And I didn't realise the vast difference between having a 9 to 5 and working for yourself. I do think it's like down to your personality. You're either entrepreneurial, I guess. I don't know if I am or not, but or you're quite happy going to work and making your wage, and you know, and you split your time like that.
To your point, though, the word I know entrepreneurs, right, and I'm not one. I'm just unemployable.
I don't think I am.
And I think when you said that,
I'm completely unemployable.
But they are sort of like they're very similar, right?
Yep.
What is the sort of what's the vision and the future look like for Salvage Sawdust?
The future is, the plan is keep building. I don't know if there's an end game, but there's things, there's levels we want to get to and we're building up to. So we want to get better and better vintage. We want a brand to come alongside it. We want to start stocking other brands that we love. So we're not just doing our own vintage.
Yep.
We start to get like a hub or like a real sort of experience of a shop. My dream is to take everything I've learned from finding and selling and researching the vintage and produce my own or our own at a good price point that anyone can afford, that's made really, really well in this country with perfect branding. But eventually I want Salvage and Sawdust to have its own brand of jeans, shirts, whatever. It can be absolutely anything. I
can see it already, man.
Yeah, you can. I mean, the new shop is like a big part of that. So I feel like I'm feeling positive, like we're getting there at the moment. We do t-shirts and sweatshirts and stuff, and I print stuff in the workshop, but I want to be producing jeans and shirts and boots and hats and all of it, really. So yeah, and then just grow and grow, really. Yeah.
As someone who's now run their own business for nearly a decade.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a few before that as well. Yeah. But this is probably doing the best.
But a lifetime of doing it, right? Plenty of mistakes, plenty of wins.
Unemployable, mate.
Yeah. What advice would you give to someone starting their own business now, if you could just give them one bit of advice?
What I would say is like fully 100% do it. If you want to do it and it's your dream and your passion, do it. I do believe in following your dreams. I don't believe in, some people think like, oh no, if I make my hobby my job, it's no longer my hobby. Yeah. I think do it. You do something you love. And I would start small, and I would start like not online. So like if it's vintage, I would say hunt like hell and buy some stuff that you love and that you'd wear, or maybe it's your old clothes, I don't know, whatever, and get like a market stall or do a little pop-up or to open your garage and put a sign at the end of the road. Yeah. But just do it small without much outlay and just keep doing it and listen to everyone. So listen to all the traders around you and research it all and listen to the customers. You don't necessarily do what everyone wants. You do it in your way, but just gain all that knowledge.
Yeah.
It's far better than selling it on Depop. You might sell a few things, but you won't really learn anything.
Yeah.
What you need is to learn how to do it and then scale up. And if you want to get a shop, get a shop. If you want to get a bigger stall, if you're making a fortune, just stay on a stall. Markets are wicked. They're the backbone of the country. So, yeah, I think just get out there and do it and listen to everyone.
What I really liked about that answer is that what you're talking about is dealing with people.
Yeah,
And
well, it's people that you've got to sell stuff to.
Yeah, and getting that information from them, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, essentially what you're saying is be a sponge, soak up all the information
Fully.
that's out there, rather than being online in this faceless
There's no
business.
information, there's nothing. There's no
real
interaction.
Yeah.
That's what the world is missing, is the communities, the not the physical communities, but the community you build around you or what you're trying to do. You'll attract new friends, you'll attract new people, you'll attract customers that you might see them once, they might come back every week, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, just put yourself out there. Go for it.
Jack, where can the people who are watching this, where's the best place for them to find you guys?
Walk into the shop is the best. Going against everything I've just said, we are online as well. But there's the website if you're not local to Brighton, or just walk in the front of the shop. We're in the south lanes of Brighton.
Yeah.
And,
I'll link the address below, and I'll also link all your social and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, if you need us, just message us on Instagram.
Awesome. Jack, thank you so much for your time, man.
Nice
Really
one, brother.
appreciate it.
Yeah, it's good.
Cool.